Today we're going to keep working on the inside of the car, and hopefully we can start painting on some chassis saver. Before we get started on that, we do have a couple new subscribers this past week. Thank you so much for subscribing and being interested. We hope that you guys really enjoy. We are going to get started on taking out the windshield before we move back on the inside. So I'm going to set you guys up. Let's get started. If you're taking your trim off, get one of these tools. If your trim is missing and you find a car in the junkyard, get one of these tools. It's going to make it so much easier, and you'll be able to take the trim off without bending it up. Also, these parts are trash. That has both the tabs still on it, but this one doesn't. So I'm going to buy these from LMR in a set, or I'll get them from National Parts Depot. So just so you know, these will be getting replaced. Alright guys, so there is a crack that goes from top to bottom on the windshield. Right here in the driver's side corner, all the way down, kind of loops over, and then ends up right there. I'm sure you can really see it there. I'm expecting this glass to come out in two pieces. This is the kit that we'll be using from Harbor Freight. I'm ready to get this thing out of here. It's broken, I got to replace it anyways, and we have to get all the crud out of here before we can paint it, so it's necessary that we get it out regardless. Alright guys, we finally got the windshield out. I need to vacuum everything out still. Let's see if I can show you. That's where the rust spot is for the most part. The glass came out okay. There was a few, let's just say I cracked it up quite a bit. It was my first time, and there's probably more tools that you would need to use in order to break up the sealant that's in there that I just didn't have. I just had the one tool, so I was using a 12-in-1 pry tool also. For the most part, it looks pretty good. I gotta vacuum it out, and then I'm gonna clean it up with the wire wheel and get it ready for the new glass. And then I'm going to clean up that rust spot. It's bad, but it doesn't go down far enough that the new glass isn't going to have anywhere to seal. So we got pretty lucky with that, and now I just got to get it all prepped to put new glass in. I'm probably not going to be putting the new glass in. I'm going to end up calling, I think there's a few companies here like Safelite or Auto Glass or whatever. I'll just have them come by the house and put one in, and I'll have them put it in before we paint the car. I'll just tape off the glass. We'll leave the trim off so that when we put the trim on, the paint rolls up underneath on the body lines by the A-pillars and the roof. But I want the glass back in. So we're gonna get that prepped, and then we'll continue working on the inside of the car, where we still need to put the Pour 15 in. So that's where we're at. All right, let's get back to it. All right, so I just went on lmr.com and I picked up all new clips. So we're gonna go ahead and take those out before we clean everything up. All right, so I figured I'd just catch y'all back up. We have cleaned everything around the windshield, removed all the clips, and sanded down the cowl area. And I'll tell you what, it's just one thing leading into the next thing, and I feel like I'm gonna tackle one project at a time, but then it's kind of like, you know, you're opening up a can of worms, and you just, one thing leads to the next, so you just kind of have to go with the flow. Let me turn you around and show you what we've done so far. I went ahead and took the bolts out of the windshield wiper mechanism there and just dropped it down so that I could sand down the cowl area. We cleaned all of it up around the entire windshield. I think it looks pretty good. That rust spot we went ahead and cleaned up with a wire wheel, and I sprayed some Rust-Oleum rust reformer on everything, all around the windshield and including over here. I know that this is pretty bad. I'm not sure what we're gonna do about all that. Finding a donor car is proving itself to be a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. Let me jump in here and show you. So we sprayed the rust reformer all up under here. So that should take care of most of that. Again, we do have a lot more work in here to do. I've started sanding on all of this, but I still have to sand on all that over there, and obviously vacuum everything out and then prep it before we can coat it. So my thoughts are, we're kind of at a good point with the car right now. I called Scott Rod middle of last week, and they said that they're waiting on the cowl part, which is going to cover back there along the top and get rid of all those holes. We're probably going to keep the windshield wiper motor. That was just a last minute decision on my part, but once we get these in and we finish the body work in here, by that time I'm hoping all the floors in here will be coated and cleaned up, and then pretty much, and I'm thinking as I'm talking here, pretty much we're gonna be ready to start on the outside. I have been looking at LMR for some K members. I just like LMR's site. I like their customer service. So if I have to wait a little bit to get the K member that I want because it's not in stock with them, I will. And once that becomes available, we'll go ahead and get that ordered so we can get the car back down on the ground. But I mean, when the engine bay is shaved and all that's done and it's in its primer stage, and then the inside of the car with the floor pans is coated and that's finished, and the K member is in and we have the car on the ground, we're gonna be pretty much at the point car will be a roller again, and I would say like 80-90% of the body work except for getting everything straight and prepped for final paint, will be done. So that's really exciting, to think that that could just be, you know, a couple months away. So hopefully starting in the new year, this car will be on the ground and it's gonna look a whole lot different. I'm gonna take a break here for a second and I'll jump back on and we'll see what we're to get started on next. I have to kind of inspect over the car and just make sure that we're tackling everything in kind of the right order. We are moving along pretty good, and this is the driver's side fender area. I went ahead and sanded everything down and basically primed it with the Rust-Oleum rust resolver. I'll show you in comparison to what this side looks like. So we do have the Rust-Oleum up there, but down here I'm not worried about prepping this too much because we still have to fill in all these holes and put in the panel over here. And let's see, you can see a little bit of rust under there. I'll hit that with the wire brush and clean all that up, and I'll shoot that with the same, but it'll convert the rust over and we can prime over it. So that is pretty much where we are at with this. I did clean up in there and spray the same. So that's pretty much where we are at. I know you guys were probably hoping to see something be a little bit more finished. All I can say is when you're working on a project like this, you're going to end up uncovering as you go, and we just have to tackle it as it comes. I really wish we could have had something a little bit more finished in this video, but that's just the way that it is, and there's nothing I can do about it. You know, I've probably got another 10 hours, 12 hours so of sanding already in it. I probably have another 12 to 15 hours to go just before we can get everything where it's gonna look like this stage of everything is finished. So let me know, do you guys like to see more of me working, or do you guys want to see more of me kind of telling you what's going to happen and then I show you after, or do you guys want to see both? I mean, let me know. For those of you who have seen most of the videos that I've put out from the start, you know that I am kind of documenting what I'm doing here with the car. So I'm not really sure, you know, what you guys want to see. So drop down in the comments and let me know. That would be really appreciated, so that I could kind of make my videos more around, you know, what you guys want to see, because I'm going to be working on this regardless. I just need to know, you know, what to put the camera in front of. You know, what do you guys want to see overall? So let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys think so far. Other than that, I think that's going to wrap this one up. If you guys are stopping in for the first time, check out the other videos so you can get caught up on what we've done so far and kind of where the plans are for this car in the future. Other than that, as always, thank you for stopping in, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.